Hi everyone, what we're going to be starting now is our unit on percents and figuring out different percent values of numbers, what percent of a number a certain number is, etc. So what we're going to be doing today is just learning about what percent means, okay? So what does percent actually mean? When somebody says the word percent, there is a meaning. Per means out of, and cent means 100. So if you put that all together, percent means out of 100. So represent each percent by shading in the grid below. Okay, each grid is 100 squares. So if I want 3% or 3 out of 100, I'm going to shade in 3. Doesn't matter which 3. I'm just going to go right down here, 1, 2, 3. It could be any 3 though. Here, 40% or 40 out of 100, okay? So each column has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40. And then a half of a percent. A half out of 100. So you're going to take one of these boxes and just color in a half of them. Okay? So the word percent means out of 100. Therefore, it can be represented with a percent symbol or as a fraction or as a decimal. Since a problem could present or ask for percent in any of the 3 forms, we must be able to convert between all of them. Okay, so let's take 52% and let's practice using all 3 forms. So 52% using the percent symbol, you're just going to write 52%. 52% as a fraction. Okay, remember we know percent means out of 100. So it's going to be 52 over 100. Okay, and then 52% as a decimal. Well, if you take your calculator right now and you do 52 divided by 100, you are going to get 0.52. Okay, so you can use your calculator to find the decimal, or there is a little trick that you can remember. So if you have 52% and you're trying to change that into a decimal, well, right now the decimal point is right here. If I want to change this 52 into a decimal, you're going to move this decimal 2 spots to the left. 1, 2. And it would become 0.52, which is what we got over here. So I don't care if you use your calculator or if you want to remember, just move the decimal 2 spots to the left. Fill in the chart by converting between a fraction, a decimal, and a percent. Okay, so in this first row here, they give us 35%. All right, if I want to write that as a decimal, remember I'm going to move my decimal 2 spots to the left. So right now, it's after the 5. If I want to move it 2 spots to the left, 1, 2, decimal would be 0.35. And as a fraction, 35% would be 35 over 100. Because percent means out of 100. Okay, in the second example here, you have 0.15 as a decimal. So if I wanted to first write that as a percent, I'm going to move the decimal 2 spots to the right. So here we go, 1, 2, that becomes 15%. And now if I want to write that as a fraction, 15%, 15 out of 100, just like that. 1/8 as a fraction. Okay, so in order to get that as a decimal, I'm going to do 1 divided by 8 in my calculator. And I get 0.125. That's the decimal. And now to convert that to a percent, I'm going to move the decimal 2 spots to the right. And I get 12.5%. And in our last example here, we are given a percent of 112%. So again, if I want to write that as a decimal, I have to move the decimal 2 spots to the left. So I have to, my decimal's over here. I have to go to the left 2 spots. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I would get 1.12 as my decimal. And then as my fraction, 112 out of 100. So 112 over 100. Okay. Benjamin believes that 0.5% is equivalent to 50%. Is he correct? Why or why not? So 0.5%, is that equal to 50%? All right, some of you might be able to tell me right away that it is not correct. But if you need some more evidence here, 0.5%, okay, let's take 1/2, let's write that as a fraction over 100. Is that equal to 50 over 100? Okay, so let's take that, let's put that into our calculator. So 1/2 divided by 100 would be equal to 1 over 200. Is that equal to 50 divided by 100, which is 1/2? And that's no, not the same. Fill in the chart by converting between a fraction, decimal, and percent. All answers should be exact. Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do for tonight's homework is fill in this chart here, just like we were doing in the chart above, okay? So you're gonna fill in this entire chart converting between fractions, decimals, and percents.